up, y'all? It has been a minute, but there's some time before I go pick up Cairo today, so I need to just speak to a couple of things that's been very top of my own heart. That's what I come on here to do, really. These first several episodes of this journey, this podcast has really been like a incredible outlet for me to share from my heart to hopefully support those of you that I'm walking with in various ways. Because this walk is wild. This walk of squaring our shoulders to deeper truths within ourselves, within the way this whole world is set up, squaring our shoulders to the way things are unfolding inside of this matrix reality, and deciding who we want to be inside of all of it. That is such brave ass work that so many of you are doing, and I just want to start with gratitude for how the last year of this podcast has unfolded. I really had no idea where this was all going to go, really why I keep doing it. If I was doing it for reach and exposure and anything other than the beautiful outlet it provides me, I would have just stopped, because I think like 10 of you listen to each of my episodes. But I know it's the right 10, and I know it's the 10 who are feeling in similar ways that I feel, or you're exploring, and maybe you just want to sit together in it, because that has been my work the last decade, just really learning how to sit with the energetics of a situation, a relationship, a tragedy, a miracle. Sitting, you have the actual thing that's happening, and then you have the energetics of that thing. And so, I'm still so deeply committed to understanding it as much as I can, so that my life can be a reflection of it. The way that I mother, the way that I do business, the way that I do life, like life design. And I am so clear that beyond everything, it is insanely wild times that we're a part of. But a huge piece of all of this is that we are sharing this time on our planet, being alive, and it is so incredibly intense, so incredibly charged, and filled with information and possibility. And I said this the other day in a social media share, like it's like a choose your own adventure game every single day. And if you aren't curating your focus and how you spend your time and who you spend it with, then it is very easy to get caught inside of loops of thought, loops of behavior, loops of patterning that are familiar to you, that are the same, and that will continue to make you feel the same and create the same results and live the exact same life. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And you and I both know plenty of people who are choosing that. But I know for myself, for many of us, we're actually choosing a path that's a little more aligned with an expansion energy versus a loop style energy that kind of stays in the same loop. So we're deciding that rather than each day being the same and each thought being the same and each, way in which we're Rather than all of these things being the same, we're deciding that we're open to things getting better, brighter, clearer, more empowering, more filled with light, filled with goodness. Because there's a lot of shadow right now, a lot of shadow within ourselves, within the way the governing bodies are acting and reacting, and yeah, we get to choose. So this is not even at all what I wanted to talk about today, but I think I needed to start there. What I really wanted to talk about, and we'll see how long this takes because I don't have a ton of time, but I have been thinking about something that I saw on socials that I've just been spending some time unpacking. And a friend posted a quote that she found, something around making emotional decisions and how that, wasn't maybe the best way to make decisions from an emotional place. And then a woman commented below that was like, yes, absolutely. Just like the Bible says, don't trust your heart. It's a deceiver. And I was just like, whoa, hang on a second. The heart is a deceiver, and the Bible tells us that. My goodness, I think it caught me so off guard because I've been so, I've been sitting with the heart for so long within myself, within so many people, and I've gotten to be a front seat witness to how miraculous our hearts are and the love that we hold for just the innate love that's programmed into these hearts when we come in. There's no part of me that could get behind our actual heart being a deceiver. Now, there is another level to that. And I think, I think the Bible's so cool because in its original version, before King James, and by the way, have y'all ever really done any research on King James and what he was up to and into and all about? And this is the guy that commissioned the quote-unquote translating of the Old Testament so that we could all understand it. Yeah, that's a whole other rabbit hole. But anywho, I think maybe what was maintained inside of it and why so many people find value in reading it and learning from it is that there are really incredible layered codes inside of it, and it's the Bible holds this very powerful duality where there's pure teachings inside of it, but also this layer of separatist judgment based translations that have taught so many people to not trust themselves. That's just my thought. Or to even go on that journey of learning about the full spectrum of what it means to be human. There's so much give it up, to this, give it to Jesus, give it to God, give it here. But it's still there, living in your heart. It's still there. The pain, the darkness, the shadows, all of that, they still exist. And so I've just been thinking so much about, treating all of that differently. Treating how we see the quote unquote shadow as differently, as something different. Do I know for a fact that there is ill-intentioned energy that wants to cause harm? For sure. but I do not think that all shadow and darkness is that. I think that it's, it's it's an energy inside of an energy that is. So I don't think the whole of darkness can be considered bad or wrong or harmful. And that is like, woo, a change your life kind of realization, because, in so many cases, this is why I love the gene keys, teaches that the shadow frequency is what gets planted as the seed into the darkness to grow into the plant and the fruit. And so it's like an absolutely necessary part of growth. So the heart is a deceiver. I cannot get behind that. But one thing I can get behind is another quote I heard that I want to just break down, and that'll be what we talk about today. So, and this is where I think there's some truth inside of the heart is a deceiver situation. And the quote I heard in a book I'm listening to was, trust your feelings, not your emotions. And I liked that, all right, because trust your feelings, not your emotions. I like this, and I'm going to tell you why. And again, this is from my just decade of sitting with thousands of people and being in all sorts of situations where you see the quote unquote true colors of a person and the integrity or lack thereof. I think that our emotions are the fleeting experience that is attached to a thought. Our thoughts are where the beliefs and ways in which we see ourselves in the world live, our programming. So emotions are the experience that have programming connected to it. It could be positive programming that's very helpful and, growth oriented, or it could be negative programming that is sabotaging and harmful and causes harm to self and others. So not learning how to just see those emotions as they come through, and the first step in any awareness journey is becoming the observer. All right, here's this trigger. I'm getting worked up. What is it attached to? What is the emotion that I'm feeling? What is the belief connected to it? Being able to go that deep within self and then decide if it's worth the reaction or the response that you were planning, that's a big time superpower. In a world where so many people are just reacting like an instant, we're so used to instant gratification. You just have all these fast moving emotional decisions being made and people carrying a ton of regret that have no idea how to get it out of their body or their heart. So yeah, seeing the emotions as temporary visitors, that they're in, they're out, they're, especially depending on how you're wired. I'm an emotional authority in human design. I'll be on a roller coaster, y'all. I'll be feeling all sorts of things in my emotional body. Now, my cleanup work, my mindset work has been, clearing, rewiring, reinstalling programs that are helpful in all areas. I'm definitely not completely there yet, but I see it now for the literal game that it is. So, again, giving the emotions less weight when we're making decisions. And the second part of that is trust your feelings. Don't trust your emotions, trust your feelings. Your feelings I see as what is the experience of what's connected to the deep, vast, unending, timeless soul part of you that are more like guidance, that are more like connected to God, your antenna connection, that I see it as residing in, inside the heart space, but I actually learned about a higher heart energy center, which, oh my gosh, I have to go down that rabbit hole even more. But, down in your body, the heart is the bridge between the upper scale of your body and the lower scale, the energetic and the material. So right here in this kind of meridian of yourself, there's this knowledge base that comes through in feeling, comes through in your deeper sense of knowing. And that's what I see as the part of you that you can trust. And the one thing about that is that it's going to be so unique to you, and our work is trusting that. I mean, there have been so many times I've made decisions that have come from the feeling place within myself that nobody understood. Leaving the racehorse industry after I had this amazing career, executive director at like 26 years old, like it was, a fast career, and I could have just kept going and kept building, but I had this feeling that there was another path for me. And so while it looked so crazy to everyone just to leave and go live in a literal crusty, rusty barn loft at a retreat in Texas, because I wanted to be on a retreat. I wanted to learn retreats. I wanted to learn business in that way. I wanted to dive into my business skills. And so I did. And that came from the deep feeling. It wasn't a quick reactionary, emotional-based decision. And when you make a decision based on a feeling, things around you will be much more peaceful. Got a phone call, and we can land the plane now. So I ended with things feeling peaceful when you make a decision from a deeper feeling versus a fleeting emotion. This is where you find like relationships being able to dissolve with ease, a removal of drama from your experience because you've learned how to trust yourself, treat yourself fairly, treat others fairly, not play the victim, not be a victim, not victimize anyone else or yourself. And you move through your life really with much more ease. It definitely does not mean there are not challenges. And I think we get to share this time together where we're really learning. Like I promise you, you have not seen somebody move through the world the way I'm talking about, because this is new shit. This is new ways to exist in the world, because there's a lot of people. Most people will make you believe that they've got it all together on the outside, and then it's just chaos internally or inside of their relationships. And we don't have to carry all of that anymore. Our lives don't have to feel like that anymore. And I'm so grateful that we get to be on a path where we get to learn together, grow together. So yeah, thank you for listening today, sitting with me. I'm gonna go pick up my cute little boy. And I think, let's see. I want to talk about this second pregnancy, this second baby that's coming in like 5 months. Oh, wow. There's several things I want to talk about, and I have a plan. I have a plan for the podcast, a rebrand alongside with a new vision as I welcome in this next baby for the rest of the year. So we're going to keep trucking to 50 episodes, and then things are going to change a little. So I'm getting all that ready for y'all. Until then, always here. Let me know how this landed. Questions, reach out. Get your ass to Breathe Retreat if you're not already coming. That is going to be, these in person this year, we're all blasting off. So come, sit, be. I'm here. and I love you. And let's take a big breath in. And let's let it go.